Hey everyone! I'm so glad you're back and we can continue our journey together, learning more about informational texts. We've learned so much about the features of informational texts and how authors lead us to draw conclusions and understand main ideas. Now, I'm interested in diving a little deeper and exploring the choices authors make, why they write the way they do, and how they shape their messages to us, the readers. Come on, let's get started. Understanding the way authors organize their ideas is a big part of reading informational texts. Just like when we learned to organize our own writing about animals, authors use different structures to help their readers follow along and understand the information clearly. So, what is text structure? Well, it's how authors organize the information they want to share with you. There are different types of structures that writers use depending on what they want to communicate. The most common text structures are descriptive, chronological, cause and effect, compare and contrast, and problem and solution. I've started putting together a guide to help me remember the different text structures and how they work. Take a look. I've already added some notes on descriptive texts. In a descriptive text, the author uses lots of details to help you imagine what something looks like, sounds like, or feels like. Remember when we added descriptive details about how wolves live in icy, frigid, snow-capped mountains? Descriptive texts are filled with sensory details just like that. An author might also use this kind of structure when describing characters and settings, places around the world, or even to describe a product people can buy. So that's one structure we're a little more familiar with. There are 4 more text structures to explore. Knowing the structures of texts and their features will help us organize information and details in our minds, make connections between the details, and summarize the important ideas. Today, we'll start with the features and purpose of chronological text structure, and you'll create your guide along with me. Ooh, and you know what? I've been diving into history and actually just watched this video on Miacademy that might help us learn more about text structure. As we watch, listen closely to see if you can determine which text structure this Miatuber used when scripting his video.
Imagine a world without wheels. No bikes, no cars, not even a simple wheelbarrow. The wheel is so common today that we forget its incredible history. Let's rewind to see how this round invention became a key part of our lives. It's around 5,500 years ago, and ancient people discover that rolling logs under a heavy stone makes it easier to move. This idea leads to the invention of the first wheel, a solid wooden disc on an axle. By 3000 BCE, wheels are being used on carts pulled by animals, making work and transportation faster. By 2000 BCE, the wheel has made its way to ancient Egypt, where it transforms travel and warfare through the invention of chariots. Soon after, around 1500 BCE, the potter's wheel revolutionizes pottery making. It allows people to create more precise and uniform shapes for objects used in cooking, storing, and carrying food. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, around 500 to 1500 CE, and wheels are powering water mills across Europe. Water wheels are crucial for grinding grain, sawing wood, and even shaping metal. We're now in the 1800s, and wheels are taking on new forms. Horse-drawn carriages made it easier for people to get from place to place. Train wheels, designed for steel rails, connect cities and speed up transportation. Meanwhile, bicycles with their spoked wheels give people personal freedom to travel more quickly. We've made it back to today, and wheels are everywhere. On cars, in machines, even in the gears of clocks. The wheel's journey from more than 5,000 years ago to now shows how a simple idea evolved over thousands of years to become essential to our world.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Who knew the wheel was so important? And thanks to the text structure, we can trace the echoes of the past and see exactly how the wheel has evolved or changed over time. Which text structure do you think this video was an example of? This is a great example of a chronological text structure. This kind of structure, sometimes called sequence text structure, is when events are organized by time or the order in which they happened. Let's take a look at the transcript of the video, the written version of everything that was said. A transcript is a great tool because it lets us see all the words and details written out, and it's just like reading a book or article. We can highlight the clues and key words that help us recognize this as a chronological text structure. Let's take a close look at each part of the transcript, or you can pause to read at your own pace. As you read, look for dates like the 1800s and time-related words like around and soon after. These words and phrases help signal the order of events, showing us how the story of the wheel unfolds over time. All right, let's get started. How did you do? Here are all the dates and time-related words I found. These dates, words, and phrases help us see the passage is organized in chronological order, taking us through time step by step. Some other chronological or sequence text structure keywords are first, next, and finally. You might also see writers using words like during, previously, and meanwhile to show readers how events are related to each other in time. This was a great structure for tracing the wheel's changes over time. When else might an author want to use a chronological text structure? Pause here to write down some ideas you have for when an author would choose to use a structure like this one. An author might use chronological structure when they want to tell a story, explain a historical event, or describe how something changes or develops over time. This structure makes it easy for readers to follow the sequence of events and understand how one event leads to another. Whether it's the history of an invention, the life of a famous person, or the steps in a process, a chronological or sequential order helps us see the journey from beginning to end. Pause here to complete this page of our text structure guide. All right, great work today. As readers, we know more about two types of text structure, descriptive and chronological. We understand the clues to help us identify these structures and why an author might choose to use them. We still have 3 more to go. And from reading, we now know some interesting stuff about an everyday object, the wheel. Until next time, keep reading and keep working on those goals. See you soon!
Hey, hey.